Welcome to session 13 of Spelljammer. Does someone have a recap for us?
I do this time. Rune's personal log, 1496 DR, 15th day of Flame Rule. Well, he's forgotten his ring again. For something so important, Vexus manages to misplace it quite often. Anyways, we're about halfway through exploring this place, and Jex and I are sneaking our way through the temple via a broken passageway. At the crossroad, there's a secret door on one side, a wooden barricade on the other. We needed Vax to move the stone because since both Jex and I have, weak noodly arms. Beyond the wooden doors was some kind of treasure room, workshop, or maybe a museum. Regardless, there were a lot of items on display, though some seemed knocked over from the breaching charge. Turns out anything in the alcoves had a tripwire connected to heavy rocks on the ceiling, ready to crush anyone who tried to grab them. Far from ideal. Before disarming those, though, I picked up a strange book in a language I couldn't read. It felt compelling, but I'll probably forget about it in an hour since I can't decipher it. After dealing with that, I started disarming traps. Naturally, I grabbed the first one with my bare hand after disarming it, getting that familiar, unpleasant feeling from the strange orb. Each item came with a small plaque indicating its purpose and retrieval location. The most intriguing was a jug labeled as a container for divine being. And Vaxis decided to drink the water inside. We did some science, and things got weird. We may have also broken the jug. Whoops. We stumbled upon a full room of books, learning that the people who set this up were probably a cult, collecting waystones to explore the universe through visions. The last mission they sent out seemed to have encountered some kind of trouble, though. We found a large marble chair with a pedestal that had a slot for waystones. Later, we discovered it was how the people here created them. Climbing up the stairs, we found the lost researcher who seemed obsessed with a weird black gem and talking to shadows. Lots of shadows started attacking us, draining everyone's strength, including Baxis, who was most displeased by this. After knocking her out and tying her up, the problems started. I really need to be faster and stop Vaxis from acting on his impulses. He jumped on the crystal, shattering it and showering us in crystal shards and radiation. After the blast cleared, we headed back down and checked out the chair. It's weird. We got a few new waystones, but it felt like we were closing doors while opening them at the same time. Once we filled the tablets, we made our way back to camp, ensuring our captive would be looked after. We also made sure the corruption was ceased and everything seemed to be sorted. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I think that's everything.
Meet a new person at the end of the final.
Fuck. Forget about that. Yes.
Yeah, well, we started off on the next...
parenthesis, numeral 1, oily hippo man.
Yeah. I'm going to chalk that up to I wrote this in a way that made sense for a single entry.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll go over it again. Before we get into things, though, as always, Destiny would love to help you out today. Who is on the receiving end?
I don't know. I could really use a win, to be honest.
I don't think anyone is going to argue with you at this point.
I'm fully happy with that choice, yeah.
Situation.
Everyone's like, no, this is not a thing we want to be known for.
I don't want to be that guy, but fuck me.
To be fair, 2 weeks ago I needed a win, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
True. Sometimes you need a win.
So in 3 weeks from now, let's see which of Brad or Mike has had things go to shit.
Who the suffering demon will have passed on to.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll have received a photo.
I have. So is it one of those that... that's the... Okay, so the card on the right is the... old one, and the one on the left is the new one.
Tier 1 and Tier 2. Other way around, though. Tier 2
cool.
on the left.
Tier 2.
But you can pick from either list. Of course.
Perfect.
like to describe how you acquired such a thing?
Yeah. So, Ido's, as you're well aware, Ido has always had a lovely bottle green, sort of old velveteen doctor's long coat with like ruffed white sleeves. But you can see on the interior, it's sort of panelled on the inside with like reflective plating and various bits of thing. And he's mentioned to you a couple of times how it has, saved his life in the odd lab accident and various things. And he got it from an engineering professor at the university on Uth. Had to be specially retrofitted because the professor was an astral elf, whereas it had to have the second set of arms put in on the underneath.
Sweet.
Made with indestructible lace, don't you know? From indestructible bots.
Lovely. So yes, so you completed your mission at the temple. You hopefully have stopped any further corruption, any further radiation from affecting the local life and fauna. And you then picked a few new missions to take on. I will recap what happened at the very end of the last session. So you get on board your Spelljammer helm, you fly towards where the last known coordinates of the ship was and kind of where it's roughly heading towards. As you fly closer and closer to the sun and away from your starting planet, the environment becomes a much quieter place. The distant colours of the astral sea are in no doubt inviting, but here in the middle of wild space, the lack of life is clear. Which is why, as you approach at 1,000,000 miles an hour, a change in vibe, a feeling on the periphery, as the colourful decks of the Silver Stakes starship connect to you. The starship is a large wooden ship with many decks filled with bright lights and inviting games. You don't know what powers this particular model of Spelljammer, but it leaves 2 colourful smoke clouds in its wake. The message indicated by the ship that it was in distress, but the sight that befalls runs counter to that. Bright lights, a hustle of activity, and a ship whose launch party doesn't seem to have stopped. The front of the ship is clearly designed for customers' entertainment, so the docking stations are towards the rear of the ship. As you get closer, you spot a welcoming party. And as you arrive, a number of elven officers await you. Their pale complexion is stark contrast to their multicolored uniforms, as well as a rather scruffy GIF engineer, who you will all no doubt recognise as the gift from the Chronicler facility, one of the Waybringers. You have arrived.
That chap over there, would you say he's dead ringer for that the other bloke in the old space station?
You know what? I was thinking the same thing.
Pretty good with faces, so I think so, yes.
One of the alternate iterations.
Let me just quickly paste into here. So the map is absolutely not 1-to-1. It kind of gives a flavour vibe of each section. And I discovered too late that the labelling tools within Foundry are shit. So I will instead paste them for you in order from left to right.
I posted in, whilst Rich is sorting this out, I posted in the chat a request that Vaxis was going to make of Ido, which was to make an ornate sheath for the sword, but with a trick to it so that you can only draw the sword if you know the trick. Like, you need to like squeeze a certain part of the scabbard and twist slightly as you pull, kind of thing. Also would hope that the scabbard would mask the radiation that's coming out of it. Is that a possibility, Rich? And is that something that Ido would be happy to attempt?
Certainly possible.
Cool. Well, Vaxis would have made that request when we found out that it was a high society ball that we're going to later. He's also going to look to get a Prince Charming outfit made.
Is that going to be like crafting a magic item kind of thing, or is that adjustments I can make on the fly?
I will say it's adjustments you can make on the fly with the exception of the radiation shielding properties, which I'm going to have to make you roll for to see how well you can shield.
What would you like on the check?
Whatever proficiency in whatever tool you're going to use to make the thing. So do you have
I have thieves or tinker's tools.
Tinker's tools check, please?
So just proficient in.
Mhm.
Cool. Can I use guidance on this?
Yeah, all right.
That is 18.
Okie dokie, I will bear that in mind. Succeed in making the thing.
Might need a few more tweaks, don't you know?
Well, it's great. I just want to be able to wear it to this high society gathering as a decorative piece. Also, I need to get some kind of stately outfit. I'm also wondering, do we need to get tuxedos for this casino boat thing?
There was
Wasn't
no
the
mention.
ball separate from the casino?
It's a completely separate event.
This was they were stranded or something. What are we doing here?
So the message that you got at the academy was
They're no longer in control of their vessel. No one's in immediate danger, but projections suggest that based on the current trajectory, they're going straight into the sun.
I imagine they're trying not to let any of the guests know what the problem is, and that's why it's still got the party atmosphere going on.
Is there a captain or a senior officer chap type hanging around?
Yes, so as you dock, as I say, there's a group of officers there waiting for you, as well as this scruffy GIF engineer. The one at the front approaches you. Very clearly, the person in charge. Let me share this.
Who's this zombie-looking motherfucker on the right?
Ooh.
That is terrifying.
Think that, but in
Hello.
uniform. Colourful uniform.
Good day. We just received a distress call.
Welcome to the Silver Snake Starship, my friends and fiends. We did send that distress signal more than a week ago now, but I'm very glad that you've arrived. Welcome. Yes.
And you're headed into the sun?
Yes, but we want to keep it on Earth. So,
I'll say that telepathically anyway.
right man. Yes, we have a situation that requires your attention. He kind of sort of pulls you away. Despite being on the passenger floor, you are at the back where the ships would dock. We have a situation that requires your attention. We don't wish to cause unnecessary alarm. There has been some very minor disruption. So there's this. We believe there's a saboteur who, unfortunately, has become a bit misguided, and we need your help to investigate the matter further. So we have some.
Oh, we love saboteurs. We have experience with them.
Dealing with them, not causing it. I hope.
Oh my, yes.
Okay. There's been some tampering with our containment units that holds the energy that powers our ship. Has very strong element energy. So we believe they've tampered with it, and something has gone wrong. We're not sure the extent of the damage they've caused, but it has disrupted our critical systems. It is important that we resolve this swiftly and quickly, and discreetly, more importantly.
That's
Yes.
why I got dressed up. I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, unfortunately,
yes.
none of the tuxedos fit me, so I'm going to need a loaner.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find some.
Does Vaxis say that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. So at that point, the rather scruffy-looking GIF will say, "Sorry, 2 secs. Okay. I wouldn't bother. It'll just mess up those fine clothes. Some bastard.
What will?
Messing, he's been messing with my repairs."
Oh.
This is Gun, our chief engineer. He has been helping us on board the ship, and he has been repairing our systems, responding in crisis. He is top man, and he will assist you going around the ship to figure out what is going on and find the saboteur, and hopefully restore our systems too.
Marvelous.
Pleased
What
to meet you.
systems were most recently attacked, and what were the first attacked?
Please.
Engine containment. I've been reinforcing that as best I can. But
Yes, they house a very volatile elemental energy. We don't know who did the deed, but if they were exposed at the time of the sabotage, they may have become affected by the energy. They may be acting erratically and unpredictably. Yeah.
Can I start ritual casting Detect Magic?
Sure.
So do you want us to investigate the people because I'm dressed, look at this dress. It's a lovely dress. And you've now told me that I'm going to be traipsing around engineering, getting this dirty. What, do you want us to investigate the customers and find out who your saboteur is, or do you want us to fix the engines?
Yes.
Split up and look for clues?
Find
Who
saboteur.
feels they're more of a... Who
we
feels
should
they're
really
more a
find
people
out who's
person?
been messing with the engines before we attempt any more repairs. They'll hold for now.
Well, I guess I'm more people-y and I'm all dressed up. I may as well...
Mingle.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you join me, I just need to check for something. Would y'all stand real still? And if you allow him, he will go up and he will place his hands gently-ish for a giant hippo just on the top of your head and kind of like along there and feel all the way round. And then he'll give like a gruff nod and they go, "We may proceed."
What?
What you looking for there, old chap?
Just that you're you and not something else.
Jolly good. Well, of course, I do have 5 eyes, and you did just poke me in 3 of them, so please do let me know if you're going to do that again.
Apologies.
Who does okay on a
Right.
check?
So, unless there are any other questions, we will go back to the bridge. You are more than welcome to come find us if you need more. So off they'll go. You have access to this floor, but there are... I didn't combine them in the end, but there are maps for the engine floor and for the officers' floor. And effectively, you've been given free movement in the ship.
Is it worth investigating the sort of quote-unquote crime scene to see if we can find any trace of the saboteur? Because they said if they had punctured whatever shielding there was, they might have been bathed in energy. We might be able to track them from there.
Oh, what you mean? Find a trail of etheric particles or something?
Maybe, yeah.
Why
Send
don't
energy.
You guys, you'll be able to contact me through the floor. This place isn't big enough to be outside of your telepathic range.
No, I'll be able to get in touch. Yes, right quick, yes.
So why don't I start mingling and try and if you find anything, just let me know.
Ooh,
I don't.
sounds
get to
terrific.
I don't get to wear a dress that often, so I don't want to ruin it. I only have one.
I was hoping to dress up fancy myself and do a bit of a dry run before this gala later.
Do you want to come with me down to the old engine room then, and we'll start investigating while we let the fancy lads go and do fancy things?
Sounds good. You follow me.
So it's Ido, Goon. I'm assuming Jex is going down there for... you can split yourself up if you'd like.
Me and the mic.
I like the idea that I'm splitting myself up because Jex is
It
a
means you
bar,
don't have to
so
interact with each other.
Okay, in that case, why doesn't Vaxis go with Ido, just in case any heavy lifting needs doing? Can always do some socializing and mingling later. Besides, I need to find a tux to get sewn into.
yeah, we could always cover your current clothes with oil, turn them nice and black.
I mean, it's already black, but it's not quite tux level black. It's just suit.
Yeah. Fashion was never really my thing.
I'd say it's more of a charcoal than a midnight black or a chaos ebony.
Do you reckon you could sew me up a chaos ebony tux sometime?
Undoubtedly, yes.
Anyway, yeah, we'll go check out the engine, have fun on the casino floor.
Will do.
Oh, that's paused. Okay.
No window. I don't want to restart right now. Leave me alone.
So I have unpaused it. At the same time, as I said, nothing in here is to scale. I'm not tracking your position other than which of the main rooms you're in.
Yeah.
And I have,
Is
in
my,
theory, unlocked all maps. Tell me if that's not true.
For the engineering side of the party, can we go down? So Goon will lead them to where he's been reinforcing the engines. Is that the outer or the inner layer?
So in order to get to the inner, you have to go through the outer.
Cool. Cool.
Do not own any token with vision in this scene.
It should be not. It should not have any light.
A very familiar.
There we go.
predicament.
There we go.
Very easy to do.
I will be ritual casting detect magic every 10 minutes once it ends for the moment.
So shall we do the engine side of things first?
Oh.
And that is Goon and Ido.
Also Vaxis.
And Axis.
Cool. Okay. So you go to the outer engine room first. A hive of activity greets you as you enter. A large sign has been placed next to the door that reads, "Danger, enter at your own risk." Pipes and cables crisscross the room, drawing power from somewhere deep into the ship. The space is filled with the hum of machinery, punctuated by the occasional bursts of magical energy. Workstations with intricate tools and diagnostic equipment line the walls, and a series of small viewports offer a glimpse to the complex mechanisms at the heart of the ship's propulsion. And as you enter, you see a bunch of autonomes wandering about and ensuring the active operation of the ship systems.
Good day, ladies, gentlemen, and genderless constructs. How are we all doing today?
Greetings, Whizcrack!
Oh, marvelous. Well, my name is Dr. Adolamantis James. Are you and the crew aware of the process gone on to hire us and bring us in to assist you?
No, who are you?
Oh, very good. Oh, well, sorry, I usually have a person for this.
Are you here
Let's
to help?
say I'm the engine inspector.
Oh, you can tackle the workload.
Yes.
He did say inspector, not worker.
Oh, Whizcrack.
That's actually a 16 on deception, which is borderline miraculous for Ido. If Goon is here with us,
Yeah.
can Goon show us to where the damaged, sabotaged bit was?
So maybe
Is it down sort of there?
There's one thing that looks a little bit broken.
he can show you where he's been reinforcing with
Yeah.
a natural one on any kind of deception check. You get the impression that he's unfamiliar with the concept of sabotage. Like, not the concept of sabotage, the fact that sabotage has occurred.
So you weren't told that sabotage had gone on?
No, no. He's been working down here.
Oh.
But yeah, I was hoping to cover that up for slightly longer, but the dice is so.
So for clarity, you mean that Goon does not know that there has been sabotage?
No, he.
The first he heard about sabotage was when his boss told us that there was sabotage.
Yes.
So what did you think had been going on?
I just got told to keep reinforcing the area. Did they?
What kind of creature is the captain?
He appears to be an elf with a very pale complexion.
Is that astral elf or like vampire elf?
I don't know if the label to the picture I showed you came up. The label is definitely not vampires.
Perfect. It didn't, but that's honestly a great note. Right. Okay. Would you mind if I had just a brief peruse of the afflicted area?
Yeah. Come on through.
Can I try and work out what has been?
Am I correct in thinking that Goon has been reinforcing that area?
Yes. So you'll have been. So when the captain handed things over to you, he gave you a key card.
Yep.
This is the first time you have been in the inner engine room since you reinforced it about a week ago.
I've been
And
working.
if you're correct, it is this section with 4 containers in the center of the room, with one smashed to bits. You enter a room of noise and jumbled chaos that combine in an industrial sensory overload. A mesmerizing display of arcane machinery and industrial enchantment. The air is thick with the scent of oil and the soft hiss of steam that escapes from meticulously designed valves and pipes. In the center of the room stand 4 massive chambers. Inside, something bright and powerful is housed, undulating in synchronized rhythm. Around them, the machinery harnesses whatever raw elemental essence is inside to fuel the ship's propulsion. Of these 4 chambers, one is now broken and dormant. Sharp, angular shards of crystallized metal are scattered all around the floor.
What in
Can
the
I
all of
investigate?
swamp monster has happened to my damn engine room? Can he then?
I couldn't have put it better myself, my good man. What in the name of indeed your goddamn swamp monster has happened to your engine room? Could I try and investigate? Like, see
you can.
what happened? Yeah.
You will roll at disadvantage because this is unfamiliar to you. But
Noted.
I'm going to roll investigate, but I'm going to roll at super disadvantage in that I'm going to roll 3 and take the lowest of them all.
Sure.
Disadvantage, you say, Rich? Disadvantage, you say? 25.
No, fuck off.
15 for Goon.
Okay. I rolled 2 12s and a 2
Uh-huh.
for a grand total of 4.
Sweet. What did Goon roll?
15.
Oh, even with my forced disadvantage, I'm still screwed over. Anyway, so from your investigation, Goon, you realise that the one that is broken to pieces has if you pick up a piece, it has definitely got the signs of your handiwork. This was the one specific one that you were asked to reinforce. And with that amazing roll, Ido, you come to the realization that it is not raw energy contained within these vials. It is, in fact, some form of creature.
Jolly good.
Would be, did the break occur? Did it get smashed inwards, or did something break out?
Break out.
That was going to be my question as
Yeah.
well. So what kind of thing is in there, in those tubes?
I don't know, but we should probably find it.
Well,
Yeah.
Would the same thing be in the other tubes?
It's worth a look, yes.
Theoretically.
I mean, it depends on what this energy is. Like, if this is harvested directly from some kind of nebula, like, you know, if you sail into it with, like, solar collectors or whatever to scoop it all up, and then you caught something else in there and it got in there, and then you had to, like, you were asked to reinforce it because the thing was going to break out, and then it did anyway. It could be something like that.
There is much that they do not tell me.
I try and reach out telepathically to the creature within one of these tubes. Doesn't need to share a language, just needs to be willing.
Okay. What happens if you don't speak the language? Do you know that you've connected but nothing else, or does it like speak in its
a contact creature doesn't need to share a language with you, but must be able to understand at least one language. And I can mentally transmit my thoughts to it, that it would interpret in its own sort of tongue.
You make a connection. Good.
Oh, good day.
You get a
Any,
bombardment of raw elemental magic. It's not painful to you because your telepathy has established contact successfully, but there is no common form of communication here.
Sure. Oh well, there's definitely something in there, but it's not chatty.
Is it hostile?
Doesn't appear to be currently. It's not really. I think it's just a lot of
Well, that's a damn relief.
Well,
Maybe it just wants out.
do I get the feeling that this thing is sentient?
Yes.
Sapient?
Yes.
Okay.
What would sapient mean in this context?
Sentient is the ability to feel. Sapient deals with like metacognition and the ability to reason and understand that one exists.
Cool.
Yes. And the broken glass, did it appear that the thing had broken out on its own accord, or something had smashed the tank and let it out?
You get the impression that there's nothing from what pieces that remain. There is no obvious sign that there wasn't like a valve that had been jammed open.
Anchoring or anything.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, jolly good. Yes. Well, it appears they've got at least 3 more of these creatures trapped within these tubes, and to wit where the other has gone, I couldn't say.
Are they in
Will
pain?
my detect magic have gone off yet?
Yes.
I presume the creatures in the tubes are magic?
Is a fire elemental magical when it's not summoned?
Maybe not.
It's not a fire elemental, but that's the vibe that I'm going for.
It's a space elemental.
Energy elemental.
I think it's up to DM discretion.
Yeah.
They are magical creatures.
I'm gonna say no. They're
Okay.
not inherently magical.
Ooh, what if they were etheric elementals?
Well,
Given that you have
yes.
rolled, given that you've done a good investigation roll and you have successfully cast detect magic, when you did detect magic around etheric things, you get the schools of magic, and then there's like a mystery school that is etheric related. This is not etheric related.
Okay.
Okay. I will pass this information on to the upstairs crew as well. We think it might be loose somewhere on the ship, or else has toddled off somewhere. But yes. How's things going up in the old Mingling room?
Let's find out. How do I force you over? Do I have to activate it?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Cool. Which room are you going to go first?
I'm with Shax, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I think the casino. That seems where most people are.
Sure.
Sweet. Can you two make a con save for me, please?
Oh, that's not good.
Fuck's sake.
Uh,
On, you say?
oh, I
14.
got excited and then I realised I was looking at the wrong stat block. 9.
Oh no.
So as you stroll along the passenger floor and head towards the casino, you start to get a little bit of a buzz going. Feel a little bit lightheaded. That's about it for Faroon. However, Jex, you now have disadvantage on any wisdom ability check or saving throw whilst on this floor.
Okay. Are we aware of?
You're aware that you've got a little bit of a light buzz.
Does it feel like you've had like a couple of drinks?
Yeah, one or two. Like nothing. I guess for you, 2 or 3. But
Yeah.
and And as you enter the casino itself, you find a room bathed in vibrant, colourful lights, intricately woven together to create the appearance of gaming under a miniature solar system. If I do quickly, let's look at this.
This place is fun, isn't it?
Very lovely.
Did that work?
Well,
It has, and
that
that's
did.
an amazing image.
Card tables and gaming machines are strategically arranged to maximize the thrill of each game. The air is filled with a mixture of anticipation, excitement, creating an unmistakable buzz that permeates the entire space. Whoops and hollers are up from one table, where the focus is on two individuals, a brown-scale dragonborn and an orange-haired girl who have just appeared to win another. Another table filled with lanes for tiny spaceship models. An angry dwarf slams his fist against the table, scattered marked chips everywhere.
Is there a roulette table?
There is not. No. I do have games, but the roulette is not one of them.
So Dragonborn, orange hair girl, dwarven person.
I mean, there are a throng of activity, but these are the ones that steal the focus.
Yeah. I'll be using similar in other areas. Like, there's lots of people. These are the important ones.
Exactly.
I want to go speak to the goblin at the bar.
Yeah. Do you want?
And he said the man outside has a dog. Now I'm interested.
Yeah.
On one of the roll tables that I was going to use for this, the first roll I did had the mystery for this character was he has a dog that speaks common.
Oh, cool.
But he is not here.
Oh.
Yeah. Happy to split up the table that's hot. That looks good. I'll go to that.
Well, it was more of like trying to figure out who's kind of like looking a little different here. Do you want to? There's the girl there with the orange hair. I think I clash with her because my dress is blue and.
I'll go speak to the girl with the orange hair then.
All right, I'll take the dragonborn then. So I go up to the dragonborn. He's just won a big pot, hasn't he? Or she?
She. As you approach the table, both her her and the orange-haired girl appear to have just won yet another round of this game that they're playing.
Okay.
So kind of everyone is sort of vying for them to continue this winning streak. So the Dragonborn noble has brown scales for hair, and they are glassy-eyed. They have a star running through their forehead, which encroaches onto their eyes, and so their eyes have a glassy appearance to them. They appear blind. They carry a cane, which is kind of leant up against the table.
How do you play this game? You keep winning.
Are you here to take my lucky streak away from me?
Well, I was kind of hoping to just take a little bit of your luck. That's all. And she'll like touch her arm a little bit, like flirtatiously.
Oh, come on! Do you not know how to play? I can show you.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you.
So the game that they're playing is called Crystal Roll, and the way it works is they roll a set of dice, and basically there's payouts based on the number rolled. So you can bet lows, you can bet highs, or you can bet an exact number. And there's various payouts depending on what they roll.
What's the number range?
It is ranged from 2 to 12.
Can I bet 10 gold on 9?
Sure.
Can I also pay attention to what number do they bet on a single number, or how are they betting?
If you sort of sit back for a second and pay attention to what they're doing, you will see that the Dragonborn is kind of not hedging her bets, but she's going the safe route by picking a high or a low, and very occasionally she's picking 7. But she's kind of just trying to maximize her wins whilst also not putting all her money in the one basket. The orange-haired girl is picking the exact number, and at this point she's on a winning streak of getting the correct one every time. For a number of rounds. You don't know how long they've been doing this for.
Can I also place 10 gold on whatever number they place?
Can I insight check the orange-haired girl.
There you go. Where's her description?
I can also drop that.
A young human girl, early 20s, long flowing orange hair and a matching orange jacket.
My insight check will be 23.
you
I'm
looking
trying
for?
to determine if she's cheating in some way, shape, or form.
You catch no deception coming from her. And there are. She is precisely confident that she's going to get the right number, but there's nothing nefarious behind that.
Okay. So it sounds this game sounds rather simple then. I think I will bet high.
So Goon was sorry, not Goon.
Yes.
Jex was 10 on 9.
Yeah, 10 on 9 and 10 on whatever number the orange-haired girl bets on.
And Rune?
Rune will bet 20 on high.
It was a 7.
Damn it.
So you effectively get your money back, Jex, because the orange-haired girl correctly picked 7. However, the Dragonborn picked lows, and so there's a sort of mumbling from the crowd as her lucky streak ends, and she's goes, oh, I thought you said that you weren't going to take my luck.
Well, maybe I'm your new luck. How's that?
That doesn't win me money, dear.
Well, no, but money's not
That's a hell of a line, though.
Money's not not all the nice things in the world, is it?
What brings you here? And let's see, this is you're a new face.
How? I guess you can hear by my voice that I'm not somebody you. Or can you see me?
I see you. Rich doesn't understand why she might not see you.
Is it? She said she was blind.
I don't recognize you before. I've not recognized you before.
Right.
Apologies, slip of the tongue.
It's quite understandable. I would guess that the result of your eyes is something that's more recent then.
Yeah.
I should answer your question first. I'm sorry. I get ahead of myself sometimes. Yes, I saw this ship. I was traveling in the area, and I thought it looked fun. And I don't get often. You can't appreciate it, but I got dressed up for this, so this very rare occasion for me to do so.
Lovely. At the same time, it is not so lovely to inquire why someone got their injury on the first date.
I'm so, like I said, I sometimes get ahead of myself. I talk before I think. My mouth moves faster than my brain.
Very well. My name's Evrim, and she offers out a hand to speak.
Yeah, I take her. I don't know the protocol. We're both ladies here, but I kiss her hand anyways.
Flatterer.
Can I ask the orange-haired girl? Sorry to ask. You look incredibly familiar. Do you have a sister? Or like like I feel I've met someone who looks really similar to how you look, but not quite the same.
She looks at you and just rolls her eyes. Yes, I have many sisters.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm new to a lot of the customs. I didn't realize that would be an offensive
Did she
question.
give her name?
She did, but I think I've forgotten. Can I try and roll to remember? No, she didn't. It was a very brief encounter. But she seemed to have foreknowledge.
Oh, all my sisters think like that.
I see. Is it a big family?
I don't know. There's 6 or 7 of us. I mean, I guess that's big for most people. Not for me. I'm kind of used to it.
Interesting.
If you speak to her again, tell her that Saran says hi.
Saran, okay.
Where did you meet her?
I met her on a Forerunner space station.
Forerunner.
Uh,
Is that what she's calling it these days?
Interesting. You know of this place, like little
I
droid?
mean, I can guess. But sure. She looks incredibly bored.
Uh,
Not with you specifically, but just in general.
have you been to? Do you know these places as well?
Probably.
They're quite gleaming white. I've got like circular pod droid things. Have you encountered before?
One second, and she puts like 100 gold on 4, and then 5 seconds later 4 gets rolled. The next one will be 5, by the way.
I see. And I will bet 20 gold on 5. And how did you gain? Like, were you always born with these gifts, or have you had an
What
encounter?
gifts?
The gift of foresight.
I don't have a gift of foresight. Who told you that?
Your betting technique.
Oh, you just know what's gonna. It's simple math. You can count yourself if you really want to.
Can I insight check on if that's genuinely her approach, or whether she's
Sure,
lying
can
or
roll.
not? Ooh,
Meanwhile, the croupier is just like, guys, I'm right here.
uh, that's rolled with disadvantage, right?
Mhm.
It's a whiz check. Ah, damn it. Okay, that just to burn me, that was going to be 22. Oh, and the other one's natural 20, so I will stick with the 22.
She rolled 21. So, yeah. So she does not have the gift of foresight. She just is incredibly smart and can work out
Oh, okay.
probabilities on the fly.
Oh, okay. I will. Okay.
So she's counting cards in a mathematical way, as we would
if-
understand it for blackjack, for example.
If cards were dice that you rolled and you could work out the exact physical properties of how the next one would roll.
Yeah. But it is a processing thing rather than a.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The next one's going to be a 10.
As much as I would love to continue betting, I must get back to my task. Thank you for your time.
The croupier rolls the dice and it's a 7.
Oh.
I thought you'd fall for that. The trick is to lose every so often. That way they don't cart you away.
Smart. Cool. Okay. I've got no more immediate questions.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
See you later.
Bye.
She goes back to playing.
Quick question.
Mhm.
You did say that she said the next number would be 5 or something, and then Mike said he put 20 on
yes,
5.
you get. Did you put it exactly on 5 or did you go for lows?
I put it exactly on 5.
And then you get 80 gold back.
Oh, sweet.
Interesting.
And for reference for everyone else.
Oh.
So, oh, there she is. This. There we are. This is her sister, so she looks similar to this, but in a more.
That's very spacey.
But her attire to here is obviously fancy casino outfit.
Yeah.
Orange blazer and all that. So yeah.
This might be slightly out of order of things that Ido was thinking in character. Could I do an insight check on the dude we met? Like, was it the captain we met, or was it a steward or something?
Captain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to sort of see what it's like, because he was weird, but I just didn't really. I thought he was just weird rather than weird and dangerous.
What thought are you rolling? Insight?
Insight if I can, yeah.
Sure.
25.
Damn. So you got the impression that they weren't. Well, they're dangerous, of course. They're dangerous, but not for you in this moment in time. They genuinely want you to find this person.
And they do genuinely think there is a saboteur.
No. The captain
No?
does not think there's a saboteur.
The captain doesn't think there's a saboteur.
Yeah, you know.
So who do they want me to find?
Did you ask that? They said there's a saboteur. That they have been affected by the energy inside the containment unit and have escaped.
So, reading between the lines, they want us to find the thing that's escaped and destroy it, or capture it, or something.
Would we get a sense of where a creature like this might go? Is it going to be hiding in a thing or a person, or like is it a possession thing for the?
No, I'll give you that for free. It's not. This is the. You're looking inside containment units designed to hold an incredible amount of energy. They wouldn't be able to survive inside a person.
Okay.
Would have had it gone somewhere though. Can I have a look around to see if there is any scorch marks or energy blasts or anything knocking around?
Absolutely.
I will assist.
Perception or investigation?
Your pick.
Okay, I'll go for investigation, as that's much better by 2. Thank you for the help action, otherwise that would be 5.
Be right back.
It's a dirty 20.
You notice some. They're not scorch marks. Effectively, wherever this thing has touched a ship, part of the ship, it's kind of crystallized it. Imagine a heat source touching sand and it converting into glass. The same process, but on metal or on any parts of the ship as it's moving about. And with that roll, you'll see that heading towards a vent in the wall, and it's gone in there somewhere.
Master Engineer, is there a blueprint of this ship you have access to at all? I will ask Goon.
Unfortunately, Goon will be right back.
Goon will be right back.
Anything for Rune in the casino whilst we're waiting?
So, talking to this Dragonborn, she'll go, so what are you doing here? Are you just here to gamble, or did you just discover this place like I did?
No, I came to test my luck. As you can see, I have not had the best luck recently, and I wanted to see whether that has affected all things in my life. So I came here to try.
Well, so I'm guessing this is very recently then. If it's any consolation, I think the scars look lovely. It's like you have stars for eyes.
Oh, thank you.
So, has anything interesting happened while you've been here?
What does she say? I don't know. Nothing out of the ordinary, it would seem. I'm not going to be the most observant person here. But from what I can tell, things are being okay. I've been mainly here in the casino. Nothing has really happened here. Yeah.
Fine. I mean, you still have ears and still can walk. So you'd be surprised what you can overhear if you're listening in the right places.
I don't care.
Oh.
I'm well fed. I'm gambling away. There's nothing. I'm not a detective, nor has there been any signs from my perspective of anything going wrong.
So what did you do before deciding to go test your luck?
I was an adventurer, if you can believe it.
I can believe it.
I had a little band of friends back on Toril. Used to help the local villagers, and then one day this happened, and yeah, they kind of abandoned me. So it's okay. I've gotten past it. And instead, I thought, well, we did rack up quite a lot of money on our brief tour, so Why not take it all and spend it? See what happens.
That's true. It seems kind of sad that your friends would abandon you, though.
No profit in a blind person.
No.
At least
But-
not when you're trying to combat monsters and rescue people.
You would have thought that your friends would have taken care of you, helped you either accommodate your new way of life or helped you fix it.
No. They weren't really my friends.
I'll be your friend.
Very kind.
There's not a lot of friendship out here. I
No.
tried to bring some with me.
Much
Does Goon have a blueprint in response to Ido's question? And where
you
would
do not.
hottest? Where would the hot? Would Goon know where the hottest part of the ship is?
Roll me a. What's the best roll for this? Got a history. No, you can make me a raw wisdom check, please.
Sure. It's not very wise. 15.
There are a few obvious places of heat. Obviously, this room here where the other elementals are would be one. The kitchens could be a place for heat. Nothing on the top floor on the officers' quarters really makes sense, and that's about it.
Is it
And you
possible to
also-
track through the vent system where it would have gone from the outside?
Outside of the ship,
No,
Or
from the
from-
outside of the vent.
no.
Okay.
I'm afraid I don't have a schematic. There is much I am not told. Might I suggest the
How
kitchen?
long have you worked here, Master Engineer?
It'll be coming up 2 months now.
I really thought you were going to say days.
So did I.
Can we pry the vent off where the panel? Is there a vent panel that can be pried off so we can look inside?
Yeah.
Yeah. Vexis, would you be so kind?
I stick my head in the vent.
I just more meant pry metal off. That seems rather your more bag.
Oh right, I thought the metal was already gone. Bam! Head through the crystallized vent cover.
I will then pull out a small telescoping mirror and look inside from afar.
I like your
Extend-
approach, friend.
It extends a long way down the length of the ship into darkness.
Presumably the vent. This isn't like the start of the vent. It goes in two different directions.
Mhm.
Can I look for crystallized traces in either direction? Like
You'll roll me a perception check.
Did I also do the same?
If you take it into it.
15.
You'll see it going to the right.
What if we shoved your squished
Which
friend up there?
What Jex? Oh well. I suppose you'd have to ask him though. Is this on like the northern wall or the
The northern wall, yeah.
southern wall? So it's gone right towards the engines.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Or what was your roll?
27.
It goes in both directions.
So it goes in both directions, but does it look like it went one way first, or has it been sort of freely traveling?
Freely traveling.
So it dispersed through the entire vent system?
Either that, or it's been bouncing around in there for some time and has been actively moving. It's not just it went one place and stayed there, it's been traveling around. Is there any like residue on the inside of the glass from where the smashed one was?
No.
Okay.
Might I ask you
You know-
a question? When did you receive
course.
a distress signal from this here vessel?
Give the correct date.
just under a week ago.
Interesting.
So if you were to compare dates, it would be roughly a day, maybe two, after you went in there.
Thing could have been loose 5-ish days.
Yes. So the captain, what did the captain mention regarding what had been going on in the intervening? There was a... Sorry, my brain is so deeply hypoxic right now and I cannot remember what he said. Could you just refresh my memory as a player?
Well, so basically he said, we're not exactly sure of the extent of the damage. It has caused a few disruptions to our critical systems.
Okay.
Is there an area that Goon does not have access to?
It's this room. So this is the only time you've been in here is a week ago and now. Actually, given that you're an engineer, you don't have access to the officers' sections either. I guess. You may have been summoned there once to speak to a high-ranking officer, but you don't typically have it when you've been employed here. Although today you have special access to access everything.
Can I assess the damage to the engines from here? Is it possible to repair? Obviously, we can't put back whatever's gone, but can I assess? Are we drifting towards something bad, or do we? What damage has been done?
So roll me investigation check.
Cool. Would it be technically it's the same, but would it be an Arcana check, given like the artificer?
Yeah, I'd allow it.
It's going to be 17.
So much like in terms of whether you can repair it, much like if you broke a glass, you could, if you wanted to and spent the time, you could do it. If you had mending, you could probably do it a lot easier. At the same time, that's just going to restore the container. It's not going to repower the ship. And you'll notice that in this room in particular, the main effect this has had is that the ship is now running at 25% less power.
Gotcha. But is it still controllable? So we could redirect the ship somewhere else if we wanted?
This is just the engine room. This just provides the power. This has nothing to do with navigation.
It's odd. What was the nature of the distress signal?
It said you were drifting towards the sun, I think. Hang on, I've got it written down here somewhere. Yeah, Vaxus pulls out a notebook. It's we've received a message from one of our high-value clientele. It's a distress signal. It seems that the crew of the Silver Stake starship no longer can control their vessel. No one's in immediate danger, but their projections suggest that based on the current trajectory, they're going to go straight into the sun. If there's nothing wrong with the engines here, then maybe navigation's been hit.
Yeah.
I say nothing wrong with the engines. If the only thing wrong with the engines is that it's got less power, unless maybe the engines, like, you need to rebalance the energy load so that the engines are drawing evenly again, rather than just going... Nyeh.
Well, they should still be able to control the engines, even if they're running at less power. We should go check out the control systems.
Let's have a look then, yes. Can I be keeping an eye out with my passive, I think 21 or something? Passive 19.
I mean, yes.
Or more crystallized panels.
You absolutely can.
Especially with regards to the navigation systems and the room that they are in.
Cool. So you head off to the officers' floor on the star map. Meanwhile, what are casino friends doing?
My Dragonborn friend doesn't know anything, but I have I have a thing I need Ido to make me now.
Is it a wedding ring?
No.
What's that?
It's an ersatz eye.
I had already looked up the stats for it because I was curious as well.
It's a what?
And yes, Ersatz Eye is basically an eye you can replace a damaged eye with that lets you see as a common magic item that doesn't require
Mhm.
achievement.
Yeah.
Ido has, in character, put a lot of work into medical prostheses and is absolutely capable of making them and would for other people. But yeah, he has put a good deal of pensive thought into that. Put it that way.
Yeah. So I think that knowledge. So there's the
I don't think we're going to see anything on this floor because
No.
everyone's so calm.
yeah.
think we
There
should
doesn't seem
head.
to be.
Head below.
Yeah. So I think Room will turn to the companion and go. I'm really sorry, but I do need to get going. Are you staying on the ship by chance?
I am.
Perhaps I will see you later then.
You might see me.
Well, that's true. Perhaps you'll hear me then.
Ah, lovely. Later.
Good luck. I wish I had any spell or anything to do, but I can literally do nothing. So yeah, Rune will leave with.
How much of the situation below have we been apprised of via telepathic link?
What is the range of your telepathy?
120 feet.
I'm going to rule that you haven't heard any. Because again, this is an approximation, so I'm going to say the distance here is a little bit too much.
This is like a cruise ship kind of thing.
Yeah.
In that case, I suggest we head. So what's the middle floor? Is that the crew floor or the officers' floor?
So it's crew floor on the bottom with all the engine and machinery, then
Yeah.
passenger, and then officer.
Oh, okay.
Who's most likely to cause trouble?
See, I'm looking at the vault and curious to see what they're keeping in there. Probably valuables given it's a casino, but
I'm curious about the vault. Why not? Let's live a little dangerously.
alas, we cannot see anything.
Always the way. Andrew will always find a way to make a mockery of you.
Boo.
Oh man. Okay. What is that?
So you head to the officers.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. The
Sorry, the vault.
Yes.
Large, secure vaults line the walls, each adorned with intricate locking mechanisms. Reinforced walls and ominous sharp runes protect the room's contents, including valuable belongings and the ship's finances. The air is tinged with a subtle metallic scent, and the room is illuminated by warm lighting. Two heavily armed figures stand either side of the entrance, and they are equipped head to toe in what appears to be an all-encompassing armor.
Rune will walk up to the one on the right. Hello.
Hello. I'm assuming you have permission to be here.
Yes, we're in. Do you work for the captain, right?
Of course.
I don't know. You could be a mercenary.
Mm-hmm. The nature
Anyways,
of my employment is not one for you.
that's very rude. We could be in the same employment. We could be like, you could work for my boss and you don't know who I am.
I'm fairly sure I would know.
Who do you work for?
Uh-huh.
Anyways, yes, I have permission to be here. We're looking for. We're trying to investigate the. How much have you been informed about the situation? See, you don't know anything either.
I know that you're not supposed to be here.
I am. Well, I'm supposed to be wherever I need to be in order to resolve the situation, which might be here. Anyways, has anyone come down here besides us?
Passengers every so often, very rarely.
Anyone's. The magical defenses that are over there that are making my hair stand on end.
Yes.
Are they
I'm not going to
powered?
tell you how they work.
But are they powered by something?
He has folded his arms. Magic.
Very helpful. Thank you. I'm going to go speak to the captain now, who probably isn't your boss, but we'll find out later. But if you see anyone who comes in here and tries to, do a murdering, good luck.
Don't worry, we'll sort them out.
They were very helpful. I don't think maybe I thought, they would take the engines out and then the vault defenses would go. And this we're talking as we're going out. One of those things.
I think we might need to have proof if we want to investigate that room.
Or the captain, maybe. We could go. Where should we go now? Down?
As you leave the vault room, I will say that you can timed to meet up with the rest of the party who are here to see the captain. You can
sure. Oh.
You can go with them, or you can.
Hello there, chaps. What's been going on?
Yeah, well, I met. I need a favor.
Granted. What?
Can you make a prosthetic eye?
Yes, most certainly. What kind? Compound, mammalian?
For a dragon born?
So yeah, reptilian. Yes, most certainly. Which eye? And yes.
They've lost
I mean,
both.
I'd have to get some measurements and.
They seem to have lost both, but.
And have they lost the actual organ, or is it simple damage to the retina or the nerves, or?
It looks pretty bad. I think the whole organ.
Well, yeah, I can certainly take a look. I'd have to have a chat with the individual in question, really.
Could you make
I
it
will
by
tell
just
you
looking-
that the eye looks damaged. Specifically looking at the wording of the item, it has not been lost and it has not been removed.
Yes, if it is a case of the eye is still there, it would require some surgery, which I'm qualified to perform. But yes, there would be anaesthetic involved and a number of consent forms and a number of bureaucratic things, and also would need a stable operating theatre, one which I wouldn't say would be found on the cruise ship, which is legendarily, of course, the most sterile and filth-lacking type of ship there is.
Well, doesn't this place probably have a medical bay of some kind?
Oh, it'll certainly have a morgue.
That's
They all do.
sterile-ish.
Yeah. I've worked in worse situations.
Okay. I ran into a person upstairs, and they had a very sad story. So I was nice for.
Yes, well, let's have a chat when we catch back round. Yes.
Yes.
Their decision, but I can certainly offer my services.
You're on your way to see
the navigational systems.
Oh, all right. Well, we ran into a dead end in the vault and in the gambling area, so.
Jolly good.
So to the star map room or the bridge?
Bridge, I think, first of all, to see what flight controls are inoperative or damaged.
Ooh.
Oh, very nice.
You have arrived at the heart of the ship, the bridge, an inner sanctum where officers conduct their business. The room is adorned with round arches carved from enchanted wood, intricately carved with runes that shimmer. It is definitely a marked contrast from the rest of the ship. Whereas the casino floor is full of enticing sights and sounds, here the atmosphere has a much more muted and calm tone, where the movements of the rest of the ship are logged. A number of circular stations. A number of circular stations are scattered around the floor, each focused on a different area of the ship. One has a holographic image of the ship where a navigator is attempting to interact with the image in fluid motions. And at another desk, a scribe is focused on a blue orb whilst hastily writing down into a scroll of parchment that overflows onto the floor.
This, you said it was enchanted wood and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell what kind of, like the doors you said were enchanted?
No, the archways are, and then there's each sort of circular station has enchanted.
Is it Spelljammer adjacent stuff?
Yeah.
For piloting?
Absolutely.
And yet there's no Spelljammer helm.
Mm-mm.
Very
Curious.
interesting. Yeah.
Captain, good day. You're just wanted a little bit more information, really. So we've had a peek around what might be happening. You mentioned there were navigational problems in your original message to the Academy. To be able to expound a little upon what was the situation.
So it appears that our navigational system has been sabotaged, and we can't control the ship anymore. The course has been set and then disabled. We are stuck going where we're going.
So you say the navigational system has been sabotaged. Whereabouts is the navigational system?
It is the star map room, which is next door to here.
Yes, and are you aware of how the engines are powered?
Yes, big containers of elemental energy that we control using machinery here. Oh, the machinery down in the engine room combined with the magical controls here work in harmony to direct that energy.
Where does the energy come from?
Come from originally, yes.
We acquired 4 standard star energy containers when we constructed the ship many years ago.
And is this the first time you have been near the star that you are now heading back to?
We never intend to get as close as we are going to be soon, but we
in this region of
yeah,
void space,
we tore this. We tore most of the inner systems. We very rarely do an excursion beyond our system, but those are quite rare. But we are in this space very often.
Okay.
When he said
and nothing new about the energy containers. They've been reinstalled, or you didn't.
We
didn't buy the star canisters from a man in a pub who had a jacket.
No, they have been part of our ship for quite some time. We did get some odd energy readings a couple of months ago, and that has very slowly increased over time, which is why we got our engineer to reinforce them.
What happened around the time those original odd energy readings? Where were you? What was going on?
We were docked in port around a planet that Richard is very hastily looking up. But we were docked at port at the apologies at the planet Shandos. Then a couple of days later, it started to show some odd readings.
And why in the last week did you not tell me that you had lost control of your navigation system?
You are not your expertise. You are the reason behind it was for the mechanical workings of the engine rooms, which you have been doing a marvelous job on. The fault is up here, in addition to the energy readings. So we got you to fix the energy readings, but there's also the saboteur has done something to the systems up here too.
See, I think you've got something locked up down there, and it has gotten out, and it is angry.
So you believe there is a saboteur? You keep saying.
Yes.
And just double check for player brain, that was not the insight I got from him.
That is what the insight you got from him at the very beginning. If you want to make one for this conversation, you're more than welcome to.
Against a normal
11.
person, I fancy my chances, but against
17, I think. Let me just check. 17.
17 for me as well, which I don't think is going to beat the definitely not vampire.
You're not sure, but he appears to be telling the truth. He might be holding.
And do you have any idea of what form this? When did the first act of sabotage occur?
I do not know. I assume it was when the energy readings started to spike, and the containment unit started to malfunction.
So 7 days ago, or several months ago?
Several months ago, it got to the point where we were worried this was very then reinforced. It's
I
too
see.
late.
Do you have perhaps a manifest where we could strike off, eliminate people from the list wherein they had come on board considerably after that amount of time?
If you're looking for people who have come on 2 months ago,
So, sorry, but I blah, blah, blah.
So we're looking for people who've come on after the sabotage to rule them out of investigations.
Thank you. Yes.
So after the energy spikes. So we're looking for a list of people who were on before the energy spikes, so are potential suspects, and after the energy spikes, so are not suspects.
he will give you a list of all the current officers. This is just everyone. There's a list of.
Are there any real long-term passengers?
Most are here for the long term. There's a couple of passengers. Rich is going to tell you for free that there's nothing odd about the number of passengers. There is, in the tens, hundreds of people who are, a typical cruise ship that docks and a whole bunch get off, a whole bunch get on, and then you've got the lifers that are on there for a while. That said, the officer pool is a lot smaller.
Right. Should we have a look at this navigational room then, chaps? See if we can elicit anything from there.
Just one thing. You said that this happened whilst you were docked around the planet, yes?
No, like within a day or so of leaving.
Okay, and did you have anyone coming on board to perform maintenance whilst you were around that planet?
Just our newest chief engineer.
I thought you brought him on
months
after you'd noticed the readings.
No. He has been here for 2 months, and he has been doing a great job. But the readings started at very similar time to when he came aboard. He was replaced another engineer who is no longer with us.
What happened to the previous engineer?
But he was terminated.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
I also would like to incite that murder.
Was it an amicable termination or?
Absolutely not.
28 with
entirely-
an 20.
Can't be the 28. That's for damn sure.
It certainly beats his 11.
Heck, I might be able to
Yeah.
beat that. I did.
They did not eat him, but he did not meet a good end.
Like, okay. Like,
How
corporate
confident-
legally, or they just jettisoned him?
He was murked, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Right. Yes.
How because he hasn't rolled the insight. How confident are you that the previous engineer has not caused all of this?
He very well might have. I don't know what he left in his wake, but he's no longer here to come to any sort of justice,
I see.
and is no longer a pressing concern for us. Yeah.
So it's not so much finding the saboteur as finding the results of his work.
If he was the saboteur, yes.
Well, we
Gotcha.
should have a look at that navigation system of yours.
Let's.
In Goon's experience, has he ever come across another ship that works in the way that this one does? Because presumably all ships that he's aware of require Spelljammer helms, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so this is a very unique ship in that sense.
Roll me an Arcana
Goon's
or
experience.
History check.
16 on dice. 21 on Arcana.
So you are aware there are primarily 1 or 2, maybe 3 designs for Spelljammer ship. It's actually quite rare to get some that are just powered by the Spelljammer helm itself. They exist and they work, but you find that the most common class of Spelljammer ship is one that requires you to input some form of magical energy. Typically, the Spelljammer pilot is a spellcaster, and they power it by basically giving it a spell slot. and that's what powers it. The one that you use at the academy doesn't require that, but at the same time, it's not necessarily as powerful. You are effectively flying trading ships that don't need that extra jolt of energy. And effectively, those are the two main types. There are other more exotic types that still require energy in some form and are still controlled by a helm, but similar to how this ship appears, the energy source might be separate to the control.
Right. Okay.
But this is still able to reach the spelljamming speeds, then, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As far as you're aware.
Is it usual for potentially living sapient beings to be used in engines? And if not usual, is it legal?
It's absolutely legal. You know of ships that are powered by fire elementals. Effectively, they are steampunk spelljammer ships that have a number of elementals at the heart of it that help power the thing, and then the spelljammer helm effectively controls that. It's not quite the case here, but there are arrangements where elementals do that. And
Yeah, I mean, there are airships in canon Forgotten Realms. Like, you guys had one in Storm King's Thunder with fire elementals powering that. There was this one airship that had flame skulls in the engine for a bunch of chuckle fucks.
And in those scenarios, they exist, and there are a number of runes and magical devices designed to keep those elementals at bay.
Okay.
So it's not unethical to trap living creatures.
Unethical
Okay,
and legal are very different terms.
Yeah.
It's an accepted practice to do so.
It's socially acceptable to do so. Yeah.
And the thing I would say, there's a difference between a ship powered by enslaved elves versus a ship powered by, raw fire contained in an elemental creature. One is more frowned upon than the other.
Yeah.
In that case, I suggest we have a little look-see at the old navigational systems then.
Yes.
I am going to have a look around for little patches of crystallized metal, and I will explain to the other two who weren't in the engine room what it is I'm looking for and why.
So you all go to the star map room. The room is expansive. It is a huge, empty room with towering outer walls engraved with intricate constellations that shimmer in a soft glow. In the centre of the room sits a chair alongside a control console, an elven masterpiece adorned with celestial motifs. There is a navigator sitting in the chair, donned with flowing robes that mirror the night sky, and you see him subtly try and manipulate the constellations around him. As he does so, a holographic display of the night sky appears in the room, projecting a three-dimensional map of the cosmos that reflects the ship's position. And as he tries to manipulate it, the outer constellations on the outer walls react to that.
Good day.
Hello.
Greetings.
We're the contractors, I suppose. The navigational systems on the old Blink, are they?
They don't seem. I've been trying for days now. They don't seem to be doing much.
May I have a poke around?
Of course, I've tried for so long.
Can Goon inspect the system to see if he can see what the fault is and if it's repairable?
Roll me an investigation check.
Can I also roll investigation for looking for those crystalline patches?
21.
So as you sort of bend down, look around the console, look around the chair, and sort of try and lift a panel here and there, very quickly you will find that a critical component is missing effectively. And with that roll, you can tell it was done extremely cleanly. The person who did this knew exactly what they were doing. And without that part, you can see that how it affects the runes on the console. No matter what they try, they're not going to get the ship moving. Not going to get the ship under their control. As for looking for any scorch marks, you find nothing.
Is it possible to rebuild the part, or would
Uh,
that take too long? / don't have the materials.
If you had the materials and the time, yes, but you do not have either.
And we're fairly sure that the navigational problems, they started a week ago.
All happened at roughly the same time. Yes, I hear there was a commotion downstairs.
But nobody has
Engine room.
disembarked the ship since then?
No, we were in space at that point.
At the time that the commotion happened, was it all hands on deck? Like, was this room left empty whilst you went to see what happened?
VTech shifts. I wasn't here at the time. There are a number of officers, the captain, a couple of other officers who have access to this room and can control the ship. So I wasn't here. It was not my duty, not my shift at the time.
Insight. I believe him. That's a 10 total.
20.
Ooh, natural 20.
Natural 20.
24 total. Ooh, I can add d6s to this.
Nice.
That's a 6, so 30.
He wasn't here.
Do you know who was?
You have to ask the captain. I just take my orders and pilot it as necessary.
When the incident occurred, what time was it within the time reference frame of the ship? Middle of the night, or afternoon, or morning, or?
Or is this a casino and there is no time, there is only the games?
Yeah, what is
Well,
time of
that's
day
horrifying.
when you're in the middle of deep space? I believe it was simulating nighttime, but you can never tell on the ship. We are the party never ends.
0 out of 10. I hate that. Very good. Yes. Can we perhaps find a crew roster though? Because surely, if you are unionized in some way, there will be a record of who works what hours.
We are not unionized at all.
The closest they get is becoming unionized.
We are cooperative, equal shares in the bounty.
I see. Like a pirate. No. Carry on.
All right, I'm going to be right back, and Vax is going to pop next door and just bend the captain's ear, saying, "Do you happen to know who was manning the star room when the engine thing happened?"
I honestly can't remember. It could have been me. It could have been one of my officers. That our focus was very much on the loss of containment in the engine room, I'm afraid.
So you got no schedule or anything as to who would have been on at that point?
I could probably find one.
If you could, that'd be helpful.
He will tell you that Ensign Oral was on duty at the time.
Ensign Oral.
And in terms of people who have access to this floor, it is only the senior.
This is officers only, I'm afraid.
I see. So either somebody got up here and half-inched the part, or it was one of the officers.
My apologies. That was a lie. Sometimes passengers come to the vault, but I assure you they are escorted at all times.
So could have been a passenger, but they would have to be in league, perhaps, or have snuck up.
Or if we didn't see them, they found another way up here.
For example, via the vents. Do you have any lovely vents here?
They run throughout the ship. They provide fresh air, the lovely perfumes that you may have noticed on the passenger floor.
Yes, rather heady if you have 16 million olfactory nerves, but
my apologies.
Indeed, I felt a bit drunk when I was down there.
All the better to enjoy yourselves. That's one of our many amenities.
Right.
See, doping the livestock, eh? Jolly good.
Vaxis would have gotten a 23 on the con save for that when he was passing.
You haven't been. You haven't stopped any of the.
Oh, okay.
You are at the engine room, and you've been on the top floor, and you are passing through. So you have not been there long enough.
Oh, okay.
What progress have you made? Have you found our saboteur? Have you found the corruption that has escaped?
Well, we are attempting
Same
to. It
thing.
appears that appears there is a crucial part missing from the navigational system that someone appears to have made off with. I'm rather surprised your chap didn't notice.
If we can't get to the stuff these days.
Where could we find this Ensign Oral?
I can summon him.
Is
And
he
if
the
you-
guy who was in the chair at the moment?
He was
No,
the guy that was in the chair when the thing went down.
Officer
Is that the same
Flynn.
one as who was in there a second ago?
No. And a few minutes later, another officer shows up. This is Officer Oral, Ensign Oral. He was on duty at the time.
So
At least
we've,
according-
There you are.
we've got some questions for you, my lad.
Of course.
Given to understand that you were manning the star map room when the incident with the engines occurred. Is this correct?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. What
Quite-
happened at that
quite-
point? Just give us a statement running down what happened from your point of view.
The ship started to shudder. All the runes and the holographic display of the system went dead. And then maybe a few minutes later, it all came back up and running again. It seemed a bit sluggish, but other than that, it seemed okay. There was a bit of to and fro between here and the bridge as we worked to figure out what went wrong, and
And there was nobody else up here apart from the staff at that moment.
I don't believe so. No, not in the star map room anyway.
And so you did leave the star map room occasionally.
But yes, well, when changing shifts, if I needed to speak to the captain about a particular destination.
And did you remove anything from the system?
Absolutely not.
Insight. I believe him with a natural one.
Between
only got a 3.
Rune and I, would we be able to sort of retroactively work out the appearance of this part via the physical appearance of this part via arcane study?
You could do that, certainly.
Do you need
Would
a
that require a
for
check
that?
to do? Or?
Yes. Let's have you both make a Arcana check.
16.
Oh, that's not very good. Can I guidance that?
Mhm.
18.
You can get a rough shape and size, and I mean you're looking at what's an empty space and figuring out what goes there. You can figure out the rough shape and size of the thing.
Is it going to be like a crystal or what type of physical? Is it like wires that are missing or?
It is akin to a sort of control panel, that sort of size. Has a number of smaller crystals put into it. It is a conduit that takes the movements and thought patterns from the person in the helm and converts it into interactions. It converts those interactions into mechanical movements that the ship can then perform.
Marvelous. I'll go on the old telepathy channels to these 4 chaps. So we're thinking someone's half-inch apart then.
It appears so.
Yeah.
Do we start tossing bunks in the officers' quarters or?
Well,
I don't know.
so could Goon work out? Was a course programmed in and then the part removed?
Yes.
So whoever it is either doesn't mind flying into the sun or has an escape plan of some description.
That's true. Ooh, let's go check the lifeboats, see if there's anyone hiding in them.
Yes, let's check the lifeboats and the hangar.
So
Also,
if I was,
what if the end is the means is not going into the sun, the end is going into the sun? this creature made of star energy wants to return into the sun. But then I don't see how it would have got out to possess someone or whatever.
But I think Vax's searched and didn't see any sign of smouldering. So there's at least another entity at play here.
Yes.
And someone with a level of skill to remove the part.
Maybe it's like a sort of environmentalist thing, free the star beings.
See, if this was me doing this, then I would have half-inched the part, set up the engines to do the distraction. While that's going on, sneak in, remove the part that they need, keep that on my person for a little bit until I'm escorting a passenger into the vault room. And then, whilst I've escorted a passenger to the vault room, then I secret that piece into the vault room somewhere, thereby keeping it completely hidden. And if it is found, then it would be pinned on whoever the passenger was that the vault piece, that the piece was snuck into.
Now that's not a bad plan.
Yeah, if I hadn't been a intergalactic astounding muscle man, I would have been a criminal mastermind.
I often think that if I hadn't become a doctor, I would have become a baker. Then again, that would have been worse, because being a doctor is the best thing there is.
Those who inspected the star map room and figured out the part was missing, roll me an intelligence check. Need to beat a 20.
That's a happy coincidence. 20.
But you can...
No, sub.
No. So the one thing that you'll note, which allows for another possibility, is the brake was clean. It could be, if they had the part, could be put back in.
Yeah.
That's...
So they are planning to
Maybe they'll
re-establish.
Maybe they'll offer to sell the
ransom
thing.
or something.
Yeah.
And the price is only going to go upwards as they get closer to the sun.
We should double check lifeboats and hangar to rule out that possibility.
Oh, definitely. We should also check to make sure no one snuck onto our ship.
Most definitely.
Roll me. I'll tell you there is no hangar, so there isn't any.
It's like a docking bay at the back, not a hangar specifically.
When I say docking bay, I meant a place that you can dock, not a place that is designed to hold other ships.
The space equivalent of a pier, effectively.
Yes.
Like a harbour type.
Yeah.
Cool.
There are lifeboats on though. And in this beautiful Spelljammer world where there is a flat horizontal plane in the air envelope, they are actual rowboats.
Nice.
Very good. Lift the canvas, look in.
They seem to be there and unused.
Okay, I'm going to go back and search our ship.
Cool. We've got crew aboard our ship as well, don't we?
Oh shit. Sorry, I need to be right back.
Of course.
I'm going to get Peace back in a second as well.
Sure thing. Brad, you look like you've passed out. So it occurs to me that if they are planning on letting this drive into the sun, then then they would need an escape plan, and the thought occurs that maybe we are the escape plan, and the reason that the whole thing was removed so that it could be put back in was if we didn't turn up in time.
Maybe.
I appreciate it's only one possible explanation, but...
Yeah. Could be that it's like a thing that... Like, the thing that's missing, could it be used for something else?
Yeah, that's definitely worth having one of the mechanics question the DM about that.
Yeah.
But I think if they were after the part specifically, then why program in a course that takes the ship into the sun?
Did they programmed it so that it would go into the sun and then?
Course was apparently locked in before the piece was taken out.
Is there something along the way that's going to be like?
Ooh.
Say that again, sorry?
So is there something along the way rather than the sun? It's not the sun that they're going for. It's something else that's in the path.
That would be the
Well,
point
I
they'd
was just
hop
wondering
onto
if
the
they had trying to
rowboat.
route us through like an ambush point where someone could board and like burgle or like rob the casino.
Yeah, yeah.
Because a casino heist is easier to pull when you can bring the casino to you.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Apologies.
Well, I was saying that what one possibility is that their exit strategy could be the help that was called, i.e., us, and the reason that they have that they did it in such a way that the piece could be put back in was in case we didn't turn up in time.
Great.
For the sake of Spencer, I think we're going to wrap it up in the next 10 minutes. But anything you'd like to do in the foreseeable?
Well, check to make sure that our ship is secure and that no one's sneaking onto it.
I'm not going to make you roll for it. Your ship is perfectly fine.
Okay.
And because one of us is
Just
attuned to
mind-
the helm, we would know instantly if someone tried to attune to it.
Right.
Okay.
Does my detect magic pop at any point of people carrying a magic item? And in fact, would this part? I think this part would be magical under detect magic?
It have subtle hints of magic, not so it wouldn't be like, oh, this is a ring of protection. It's going to be super glowy. It has some elements of magic to it, but nothing crazy. And you haven't had pop or anything like that.
Nothing else that I
What
can
places on the
immediately
ship have we not looked?
You have not been to the any of the quarters. You've not been to the passengers' quarters, the crew quarters, and the crew, passenger, and officers' quarters. None of them. You've not been to the observation deck. You've not been to the restaurant, and you've not been to storage.
If I was going to store something,
You'd hide it in a box. Yeah, it's either going to be hidden in a box in storage, or we're going to have to. I think that's going to be easier to search than all of the sleeping quarters.
quarters.
Yeah.
And they don't want people to be alarmed by this, so they're just not telling them. So the situation is going to transform if we start searching
Yeah.
crew passenger quarters. People are going to want to know what's going on if the narcs show up and start tossing their bunks.
Yeah. Let's start searching storage.
Brad had a very good question before we start searching, actually.
Oh. Yeah.
About, like, the course been pre-programmed in to go into the sun. Is there anywhere on the way there that potentially could be somewhere that someone could try and get to, or like an ambush point?
There is a observation deck that might give you that answer.
Let's go to the observation deck.
Yeah.
I'm also happy to roll stellar cartography tools.
But I'm going to have to drop, unfortunately.
Okay, no worries.
I'm really sorry.
No,
That's
that's
all right.
okay.
Yeah,
We'll call it that. We'll pick up the search next session.
Yeah.
Mate,
Works for me.
Bye-bye.
Take care, dude.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye. Alright, in that case, any final thoughts before I stop the recording that you want to save for posterity so that we can be reminded of it next time?
Not that I can think of.
In that case, I will stop the recording.